Okay, I don't know if you realize the new beginning. The term I'm hearing is collapsing into form. This marks the start of a new storyline that's about to unfold in your life. Okay, again, with sage energy, this is purifying and cleansing the energy. I'm just seeing something has been purified within your field and also within you. You've definitely gone through a major shedding process. This is a new beginning. Okay, so specifically if you're seeing this on the new moon or around the new moon in Sagittarius, this isn't just a seed that's being planted, it's a new quest line. And I'm hearing the universe is about to send you on another one of its legendary side quests. I'm also seeing you're a legend in the making, and also the words iconic and superstar. So this feels like it's a moment where a star goes supernova. You know, it's like the moment where you're sending out these ripples through space and time. It could be things that you're doing, like some type of new beginning, something that also you're creating during this time. The actions that you're choosing now are collapsing the future timelines that you're anchoring into the present moment. I'm just seeing you could be a magnet, right? Because it's a Jupiter ruled new moon where you're drawing in this vision for yourself and it's becoming a part of your reality. But this is almost like it's the prelogue of your next adventure. This new moon is literally marking the new adventure that's going to be happening as you enter into the year 2026, which is a numerical 1 year, by the way. So again, new beginnings. I'm seeing aces, 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 aces. You could have a hidden ace up your sleeve that you're about to reveal. That's also what I'm seeing. But aces are all about new beginnings. Okay, this could be when it comes to your career opportunities. It could also be when it comes to love, because I'm seeing the Ace of Cups. Then we're talking about the Ace of Air. I feel like this is I'm seeing like new mindset, new me. You know, I'm seeing like new who this kind of energy. So there's almost a reintroduction energy that's taking place. But yeah, it's a storyline where it's something that you're wishing to create for yourself or something that you're wishing to explore, and the person in whom you are actually becoming. There is an embodiment that's happening, right? Because it's the centaur, it's half otherworldly and then also half of this realm. So I'm feeling like you're roaming this earth according to that divine essence, and there's a new essence in which is infusing you right now. I'm also seeing something fragrant. So when I think about fragrances, I think about the potency of something, but I'm seeing it energetically within your field. But it's a sensory experience of some kind. It could be something that people are sensing about to turn in your life, especially when it comes to a hidden trajectory, because this new moon, especially in March, it's literally like the prelogue to some type of plot twist in your life or some kind of sudden shift of trajectory, but ultimately it's going to be you charting some type of new course or some type of new terrain, but it's marking some type of new beginning. So this is a timeline of manifestation that you're entering into. You're really going to see how this culminates entering into June 2026, because that's the 6 month cycle of where we're going to have that full moon and such. So yeah, this is some type of real world movement. Okay, that's the message that I have for you. And again, with Jupiter's landscape here, I'm seeing a dream landscape that's ever evolving. Okay, so I'm feeling like you're about to also expand in ways that you don't even quite necessarily understand or cannot possibly fathom at this time. And then we have microgravity here at the base. So I'm feeling like you're doing something effortlessly. This is about the weightlessness, okay, and just making something look super, super effortless. So not only are you expanding your passport, but you're also expanding your horizons in some way, right? And you're glowing with possibility, right? That's what I'm seeing. I'm literally seeing the word emanate from your field. So it's in your aura. It's in your aura. But yeah, we're definitely going to do a reading on this, but it's an internal and external expansion that's now working in synergy, because I feel like you're more receptive and also optimistic about these changes up front. Okay, and I'm also seeing something up front. So I'm feeling like you're about to almost receive something up front. Okay, I'm not sure what it is, but maybe it's some kind of clarity, but ultimately it's going to lead to some kind of doubling down on an investment. It could be an investment on your energy or something that you're doing, but it kind of feels like you're doing something with gusto, almost like an all or nothing approach. And then also, this new moon is at 28 degrees of Cancer, and if we round that up, it's at 29 degrees. If you guys know, 29 degrees in astrology is an anaretic degree, so it's extremely profound. It's one of the most potent degrees because it's the ending of a cycle, it's the ending of a chapter. So this is like the beginning of the end, but also this ending is directly leading you into some type of new beginning in your life. And again, 28 degrees is a Cancerian tone, so it definitely feels like something that you've been internally contemplating, something that you're kind of intuitively navigating right now. You may kind of feel like you're having this nudge or having this magnetic pull to move in this very specific trajectory or to do certain things in the present moment that are, again, collapsing these new realities literally around you. But I'm seeing the moment where a scene changes behind a character. It's the moment that a new stage is being set for you in order for you to kind of chart this new course. But there's this reclamation of safety as well that you're coming back to, where okay, it is safe to make friends with the unknown because your full potential does lie there. So this is connections that are wrapping up. When we talk about 29 degrees, you could be being guided to kind of tie up loose ends in this new moon in Sag, almost releasing past identities or stories that no longer fit the current mold or shape that you've created yourself to be. But I'm seeing kind of clay and how you can, you know, wet it or put oil on it and it becomes more malleable again. I'm seeing that as you, you know, I'm seeing that as your mind. You've kind of created this new threshold moment for yourself where you have one foot in this new timeline, but also one foot existing still in the old. And it's a pressure cooker energy. You know, this is where belief systems are going through upgrades right now. And especially because this new moon is also squaring Neptune, it is creating this pressure cooker effect where illusions begin to dissolve and those limiting belief systems that were previously holding you back really begin to crumble. I'm seeing the I am embodiment, but you're being upgraded, right? Spiritually, mentally, creatively. I'm also seeing materially in your existence too. You can no longer shrink to fit the version of yourself that you've already outgrown. That's literally what this is. It's you literally becoming unrecognizable and you're about to do things that, you know, the old you is not even going to be able to, you know, imagine. I'm feeling like this is you stepping into reality that you once dreamed for yourself, or you're at that beginning journey that you're embarking on, but your belief systems, your narrative, and your vision are all being rewritten during this time. So the essence of this new moon is a new seed being planted. It's also a world view that is expanding and a new chapter that's being illuminated for you, okay? We have a couple messages. Again, we have collapse in geomagnetic storm, honey. So this collapse is literally shifting your whole trajectory because geomagnetic storm talks about ripples being sent throughout the earth, and the collapse of the collapse card talks about the old system that is collapsing. Again, the old mold. It feels like an old reality can no longer hold or contain this frequency. It feels like when someone is literally up leveling or upgrading and what used to be their ceiling is about to become their floor, right? So it feels like, again, there is some type of level up that's happening. So it's marking a 6-month quest that you're about to embark on, and that the universe is creating this safe passage, okay, by your galactic brothers and sisters for you to come and learn more about what your life on earth can be. So it feels like a portal of discovery for you, and it's going to be basically shifting your trajectory, and you're going to see what this amounts to by mid 2026, okay? And then we have the nodal axis is changing. Don't get me started, okay? So yeah, the collapse of a system is leading to you doing something that is going to be seen and felt by all around you, and you're definitely going to be feeling this when it comes to your own journey as well. Okay, now the last thing I want to talk about before we open up with the oracles is actually the degree theory in the Sabian symbols, and we're going to round this up to 29 degrees because the core theme is all about self-maintenance, discipline, and also the cultivation of pure potential, even when external circumstances may feel comfortable or privileged to some kind of degree, or like easy, right? It's easy to stay in your comfort zone, but your discomfort is now going to surpass the comfort that you once had. So this degree speaks about inner effort and also conscious tending to one's personal field so that growth doesn't become stagnant. We're going to be talking about 29 degrees of Sagittarius. Let me read it for you guys. The image is the fat boy mowing the lawn of his house on an elegant suburban street. The deeper integration is a boy who is youthful, he's raw and full of potential, and is taking responsibility for his environment. Even though life may provide comfort or favorable conditions, an elegant suburban street, the soul is learning not to rely on ease, but to build inner strength through consistent tending. And this is a huge theme that's coming up for every single one of us collectively. It's to actively disrupt our comfort zone, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to grow and really see what our full potential could become, right? So anyway, the esoteric meaning is mastering your immediate reality. So it reminds me of the serenity prayer, where it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and also the wisdom to know the difference. So mastering your immediate reality, developing habits that refine your creative power, learning discipline before stepping into a larger destiny, aligning with personality with the soul's mission. So it feels like the way that the soul really chooses to express itself in this realm. So it has a prepare the vessel kind of vibration, which is perfect for someone on like this spiritual mission or starseed mission, which I know a lot of you definitely have these, multiple kind of intentions that you have for yourself in this lifetime. But this is also speaking about pruning, right? When we talk about gardening, and it feels like you definitely have the green thumb effect as well. But pruning is something that actually allows you to make room for new growth, right? For new shoots and new sprouts. And it's where that can also multiply, right? And it feels like the energy is kind of being amplified. So it leads to clearing, right? And also shaping the field before receiving something new or receiving higher downloads. The shadow or lower expression can be avoiding responsibility, relying excessively on the external privilege or ease that a situation could bring you. So maybe it's a familiarity of a situation that provides you with a full sense of comfort, right? Anyway, it can be also neglecting inner or outer upkeep. So it's where we can be neglecting or even abandoning the soul's core for exploration. And that's really what the new moon in Sagittarius and Sagittarius as a whole is all about. And the higher expression is going to be conscious caretaking of your life, your body, and also your environment. Also strengthening your foundation so that you can expand. It represents tending the garden as well before the next initiation. And this also could be the way that you communicate to yourself or talk to yourself, because the underlying foundation was Fox P2, which basically talks about communication being vital and key. So it feels like compassionate communication that's needed, right, when it comes to your relationship to your life on earth, and how you also emotionally relate to that could also be shifting. And also mastery of everyday reality is a spiritual practice. This is where you're a spiritual being having a human experience, and you're able to apply spiritual things into the practical things that you do, and also the practical can also become spiritual. I'll give you an example. I give this to a lot of you during personal readings. So for example, if you are cooking is a form of alchemy, because you're taking base raw ingredients and you're actually transforming it, okay, into something else. And this is about the intention. And I feel like this is whatever it is that you're cooking up in your life right now. It's going to be chef's kiss, And what this is again, there is this intention. And even when you're consuming the thing that you've just created, you are also seeing golden light come in, and it's nourishing the vessel that enriches your soul's experience, right? This is just a very practical thing that you can do, but you can also see it through the lens of the soul. And like the other practical things that you can do from that spiritual essence is also, when you're cleaning, it's also clearing space as well. And I feel like that's the initiation that you're kind of being called to move through on a day-to-day basis. Anyway, on a psychic and soul level, it can appear as someone that's on the threshold of a major expansion, who must first stabilize their environment, especially internally, because that's then projected outwardly. And this could be energy discipline before leaping into the next octave. Which one of you is cleaning right now? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm definitely seeing the internal world being reflected in the external. And if things have accumulated or become very messy, it tells you about your internal state of being. So I'm seeing someone cleaning who's listening to this. But the degree is also sometimes called the degree of conscious preparation. So even if this is unconsciously, your soul is definitely going through some kind of clearing process. But if you can work with this energy consciously, it's going to be definitely a game changer for the way that you experience it, because it's going to be a change and shift in which we're embracing the release right now, okay? in order to be able to embrace something new. So before this next portal opens, tend to what is yours. The discipline you cultivate now becomes the runway for your ascension. And when we talk about runways, I always think about, a plane taking off. I'm sure you guys do, or maybe like a catwalk, right, on the runway. Maybe you're about to be striking your pose in some way. But yeah, it just feels like there's something new that's on display either way, and something new that other people can be witnessing that's also felt, and it's something that you're directly experiencing either way. Okay, all right, let's see. I'm gonna take a look at the energy of the new moon. Let's get one Cosmos Oracle message. And I'm seeing the new moon as something that's happening within you too. Okay, gravitational acceleration and eclipse. The eclipses could have been a huge activation portal for you. Gravitational acceleration is a defined target that you're now moving towards. And again, this is speed, okay? Like things really, really speeding up for you. And the eclipse talks about something that was previously obstructing your light. Maybe it was a belief system that kind of distorted the way that you saw yourself or your own potential in this realm. That's kind of shifting right now. And it's where we cannot be afraid of our own power, because that's what our true self is, extremely, extremely powerful. That's the true us. So, eclipses, shadow to the light, one body covers another totally or partially. So, this talks about the disappearance and or a decrease of something. So, this is definitely giving me an energy of disappearing and then reappearing with a bang. Okay, some of you are doing something with a bang around this new moon. But yeah, this talks about something that has been concealed by a celestial body or the interposition of another. What has been obstructing your light, either totally or partially, that has not been allowing you to shine at your brightest. And this is about where we block our own light. Let's check who or what is blocking our light to be able to return to a place where we could be totally visible and shine like a diamond. That's such an interesting concept as well when we talk about the diamond, because I was getting a message about this the other day where you're not here by accident. You are quite literally shifting and crystallizing into your next form or next expression. And this is giving me you're a multidimensional being, right? Which is a diamond that has many facets, not just one. And this is a new face that you're showing to the world. It definitely gives me one of the Shaman's Dream Oracle messages is the feminine, and it talks about a new face that's aching to be shown, a new experience as well. But just like diamonds, you're in another one of your unseen stages, and your brilliance is about to emerge long before the world even witnesses it. So it feels like some type of shift that's already been happening behind the scenes or within you. Maybe it's a shift that you've been contemplating for quite a while, but this is a part of you that already knows that you're stretching towards something that is just extraordinary. And not all diamonds are visible, yet they still exist, right? And people discover them, they uncover what was already there. And it's because they're finally revealing themselves, or well line collisions happen so that the diamond can be revealed. And it feels like, again, you're a diamond in the rough. Diamonds are formed over time, right, because of pressure that happens, and it usually happens in dark places that no one sees, right? So this is a hidden transformation that you've gone through, and it's extremely valuable. And the valuable essence in whom it is that you've become, and that being your definition of success, because success is not just about things that we achieve, but our success is in who we become. And I feel like, again, this is about the embodiment of who you are. So a diamond begins as carbon that's literally under pressure deep within the earth. So this feels like a shift that's happened within your own inner earth. Before it becomes this clear gemstone, we recognize it as something that exists in multiple unseen stages. So again, it comes from raw carbon into a crystalline lattice where it begins to form either uncut stones or polished gems, however they are formed or cultivated. In each phase they go through this identity shift, and that's exactly what it feels like you're moving through during this time. Even when the appearance has not yet revealed itself, it's gone through this hidden transformation. And actually, I believe there's a diamond card in my tea leaf message deck, so I'll try and find it afterwards. But it mirrors the human growth, right? It mirrors the growth that the soul is going through while having a human experience. And usually it's the human that's kind of outgrowing these belief systems, because that does not belong to the soul. You're in this stage where your brilliance is not yet outwardly visible, or at least it hasn't been up until now, but the essence is already there, right? It's forming beneath the surface. And I'm seeing a metal detector. So it feels like there's some like it's almost as if someone's about to discover you, or there's people that are about to discover you. I'm also seeing like soul tribe or star family discovering you, or something that you've created or come into alignment with. So that's going to be confirmation for someone. But nonetheless, diamond's value isn't determined by visibility. Okay, that's a huge message. Whether a diamond is, you know, asleep underground or it's sparkling and polished, it's still inherently a diamond, and its worth is something that's universal. It's not worthy just because it's being noticed or recognized for something. So that statement really emphasizes unseen potential that is now going to be shining on the world stage in some way. Also inner worth and slow organic growth, okay, or transformation that's going to be happening. So let me go ahead and read gravitational acceleration. So it feels like where something was previously blocked or you were unseen, something's about to be seen, but it's because you had to see yourself first, right? So gravitational acceleration talks about a gravitational attraction is a force which makes an object move towards the core of a celestial body. And I feel like this is a very specific trajectory or goal that you have in your life, with possible or atmospheric resistance and constantly increasing its speed. It talks about clear direction and also a force of action. The previous speed of the process changes its rhythm and accelerates towards a defined target. The available energy flow gains momentum, strength, and determination. So, something that does not need to be finished in order to be precious. And this is true for, you know, your ideas that you're having right now. It could be also talents or spiritual gifts, but it represents the evolution of consciousness itself, and how that has, you know, many different facets and domains. But there are many different types of diamonds, right? We're talking about raw or colored or, you know, industrial or flawless or imperfect with unique inclusions. And that's exactly what it feels like you are. It's like there's something that's unique about you, or perfectly imperfect, you know? And it represents the soul's expression, okay, or even your stages of awakening or stages of coming back to something or back in alignment with something. It's not that there's one correct or valuable way to, you know, kind of be a diamond, if you will, but it represents different beauty that's revealed through different truths. Now, the two cards that came out first are community and also the thinking man. Now, this man is staring at this crystal, right? It almost looks like the crystal that we have here, right? From Amaru Moro. And this is a masculine portal, so it's some type of action. It's also shifts and changes that are happening in the physical plane for you. But this talks about alliances, positive and beneficial alliances. It can talk about a business consisting of 3 entities or more, or investors. I'm also seeing this as angel investors in the higher realms that are. I'm seeing foreseeing what you are in alignment with when it comes to this trajectory. Yeah, but in essence, there's some type of unseen work that you've been doing, either within yourself or some type of project behind the scenes that's been in this stage of becoming. And there's a diversity of paths that's being revealed to you. And there's a legitimacy of every phase. It's like every phase is being necessary in order to be able to cultivate this rare gem that you are. So yeah, it's brilliant. So it's long. It's been long in the making. It's like you've been long in the making before the world was able to see you, okay, or is going to be able to see you. So let me go and read the thinking man for you. All right. Beneficial alliances and 46. The thinking man, this talks about, this card shows a man standing before an archway, gazing at a crystal in his hand. He's thoughtful and reflective, and seeing the potential presence of a teacher in your life or about to arrive soon. This person may be there to educate you in the finer details of your chosen direction, or maybe there to assist you in some specific spiritual, mental, or emotional pursuit. This card is telling you to pay attention, for this could lead to great strides in your personal or professional growth. Some of you, this is going to be a love interest. Others of you, this is going to be a male friend, but be on the lookout for this guide in the physical world and be open to this information. Learn what you can. A new discipline, technique, course of study, or healing practice could change your life forever. Some of you are going to be profoundly invested in, okay? And this could be, again, some type of beneficial alliance. It could be a collaborative thing that's also going to be going on, right? So pay attention to that too. I was also going to say something else about that. Let's see if it comes back around. But let's go and pull some more energy on this. I wanted to get a Wisdom of the Oracle deck for you. And this is the many forms that you've taken. No place like home. This talks about being in a place where it feels like you're finally able to be comfortable in your own skin and just fully accepted as you are with your uniqueness. Okay, this talks about essentially just being in a really, really great place, a place where you finally feel seen, you finally feel heard. So if you haven't had that, that's the season that you're going to be stepping into. Okay, it's almost as if you're doing something you love, and in doing what it is that you love, that energy generates that loving atmosphere that's also going to be reflected and reinforced back to you. So authenticity and being in a place where, again, things just fit. It's almost, it reminds me of a poem that I did a while back. What does it say? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but the ending of it is uh I don't mess with snakes and they look like pythons, so I'm gonna keep a step in and let bygones be bygones. They're intimidated because you're your own icon. You're as strong as silk while they break easy like nylon. Your life already fits like a glove, so no need for try-ons. It reminds me of that, okay? I know that was good. I came up with that maybe like 3 years ago. I can't remember. I can't believe I still remember it. That's at least the ending part. But it feels like, again, you're cut from a different cloth in some way. Like you were cut from a different cloth. Again, you're as strong as silk. Why did I choose silk? Because silk is the strongest material, right? Nylon is something that breaks very easily, and it just feels like something's being built substantially, like you have from the inside out. So it's standing the test of time. Whatever this new beginning is, again, it's standing the test of time. So again, this feels like something that you can feel like your own. You're in the house of spirit. It talks about, again, that familiarity and comfortability is going to be reciprocated to you through the form of partnerships. It feels like a really supportive alliance is something that you're coming into alignment with. When you act in an authentic way, you command the world to reflect that back to you. What is in your highest good, your business choices, the investments you make, and the creative projects you immerse yourself in are powerfully on point. Why? Because you're fully accepting of yourself, radically accepting of everything in your journey to date, both successes and failures, and you will see the divinity in all things. Abundance is a natural progression when you experience this kind of authenticity. It literally reminds me of this authentic quote that I posted the other day. Let me see if I can find it. What you're looking for is acceptance from the group. Then in a very real sense, your center will be located out of your body. And it feels as if this is a center that you've come back to within yourself. True fulfillment is not found without, it's found within, right? You can literally supply yourself with everything that you need. You're a witness to your own growth, and because of that, that is now going to be witnessed by the external, right? Reality is a mirror, it's a reflection. So when we act from the place of what are other people going to think, we can drift away from ourselves. Over time, this can numb us to ourselves because we're creating from a place of how we're going to be perceived instead of just creating for creation's sake. And when we're in that element, when we're in our flow, right, in that essence, we will then attract like-minded individuals, people that are truly resonant, right? This feels like resonant souls that are coming into your experience. So in stillness, you read yourself and you can see this in action. It gives you the choice to be authentic to yourself. Wow. Let's get a soul's journey message. We have love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So this is about unconditional acceptance, right? And then even behind that, we have judgment that literally turned. So I feel like this is about you no longer judging yourself. There's something about being compassionate at every stage of your journey, almost like the unfoldment of a caterpillar, right? Going into that chrysalis and transforming into a butterfly. This is a hidden transformation process, but even when the caterpillar is inside of the chrysalis and it has not yet fully transformed into becoming that butterfly, which is the ultimate goal, it doesn't mean that it's not any less valuable or any more valuable. That is the destiny that it can align itself with, that reflects its full potential or its full becoming. And this is what it feels like is happening in your life right now. It's like you're just as worthy before you reach the goal compared to when you reach it, right? And when you attain it. That's what this feels like. All right, let's get a Shaman's Dream Oracle message for you too. Oh my gosh, this card was hiding in here, and so was this one. What was this one? There's some kind of magical, as you go the flow, I'm going to tell you, you're about to find a hidden treasure in the most unexpected place. I was literally shuffling the Shaman's Dream Oracle message. Tell me why the Cosmos Oracle message and my Energy Oracle deck, literally the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Boy, this is crazy. The Treasure Island card is X marking the spot in your life. It talks about suddenly all your ideas are hitting the mark and there's a sudden jackpot in which you're about to discover. And this feels like the diamond, right? This feels like some type of treasure chest. Set Stream is a magical unfoldment because you're being called to go with the flow. And it kind of reminds you of the constellation card. And then you have straddling between worlds. So when this hits, it's going to feel very real. Okay, especially because, again, you have Vanishing Mirror, which is no longer marking your life in zones of safe versus unsafe. This is where you're being called to literally disrupt your comfort zone, to surrender to a new flow, and you surrendering to that new flow literally becomes a reason for your transformation. Tell me about you. You're showing up as the strength. Okay, guys, this has shown up quite a few times, and it's crazy because this card used to never come out, to the point where I didn't even fully understand what the interpretation was in the book. I hadn't studied it yet in this specific deck, and because it talks about it being the orbs, and this is about strength that extends and branches far beyond the human experience. It can talk about strong support that you have in this spirit realm, and you're very much attuned to these other subtle realms existing all around you, especially because you have life on earth at the base. So this is a soul that incarnates in this realm, but is very much still linked to their origin point, which is an infinite potential, right? And you being a fractal of infinite potential and coming back into alignment with that level of play on this earth playground. Life on earth can talk about the longer that we move through this system, our life, we don't, what's that quote? It's like, we don't age because of time. We age because we stop playing and we take too seriously what the gods made for fun. Right, let me go ahead and read strength for you so you can see what I'm talking about here. So the orbs and strength, bravery and overcoming fear. We learn many things from the orbs that we cannot learn on Earth. This is crazy because, again, this is guidance that you have. This is interdimensional guidance that you have that originates from other realms, and you're bringing that into this gameplay experience. Again, you're bringing otherworldly knowledge as you navigate this life on Earth, and it's leading to optimal growth while having a human experience, right, for the soul. So this is soul-led decisions. This is the soul leading you in the flesh, okay? And you being guided by otherworldly aspects and otherworldly, subtle cues that you're very accustomed to. That's what I'll say you're very familiar with. These are wise souls who have lived lives upon lives and no longer reincarnate into human form. They exist only in the spirit plane and know all there is to know. They are omnipresent and imbue your souls with bravery and strength. While in the spirit plane, they teach us about things we hardly remember on Earth. The cosmic tree, life maps, karma, sacrifice, past lives. They remind us of the maze and warn us about what comes after. The orbs can never interfere or change the path of fate, but they know to shed light on things that you already once knew. So this is your soul. This is you, right? Because this is you. This is what we pulled. When the orbs come up in a reading, it's an explanation point and declares that you have the bravery, determination, and will power to overcome any obstacles that may come in your way. And ready is where you may get in your own way, right? Fear can cripple a powerful mind. So, and again, fear feeds off of self-doubt. When we have self-doubt, then we begin to fear the unknown. When we trust ourselves and we have no shadow of a doubt, and we move even when that fear is present within the body, that's the moment we become greater than our mind. We become greater than that emotion, right? That sensory experience. So once you believe in yourself, you will find many future challenges suddenly conquerable. This is honestly mastery in the physical realm, because you have mastery not just over your mind and your emotions, and therefore you have mastery over matter, but this is mastery when it comes to your relationship with a human biological costume, okay, and vehicle. Because again, when we feel fear, what are we activating? Everything connects to everything else. The amygdala, fight or flight response. Then we have the autonomic nervous system, right? Parasympathetic, which is that calm, serene state where we actually connect with our intuition and that feminine force. The autonomic can be where we fall into fight or flight. Our literally blood pumps away from the heart, which pumps away from our interconnectedness to all things. How the unknown is also an aspect and manifestation of us. Everything that awaits us in the unknown is also a manifestation of us. That opportunity is also us in another conscious form, right? Consciousness playing with itself in this unified dance of creation, right? This unified field. And it represents our interconnectedness to all things. And when we fall into fight or flight, right, or the autonomic reptilian brain, that monkey mind begins to become something that actually governs how you move through this construct and how you see yourself. It distorts your vision, right? You begin to think in terms of lack and limitations when it's in that imbalanced state. But when we begin to regulate our nervous system, when we come back into our body, right, that's the reptilian brain in the highest service, right, for the human experience. It's for the higher self to be anchored throughout the whole entire organism. And it would say, okay, I'm facing unknown variables right now, but I am my highest self. What would be my highest expression or response to this particular circumstance? So there's multiple ways to see one scenario, right? When we see ourselves as multidimensional and we embrace our multidimensionality, which means that there's more than one way of thinking about one circumstance, there's more than one way of feeling about one circumstance, we actually become extremely fluid and high vibrational, because we can observe that happening within the body, and then we can make room for another perspective that also coexists within us. And that's why truth is paradoxical. Truth is sometimes a representation of contrast, because your truth and my truth could be totally different. And then we could also have multiple truths about one situation, right? Multiple angles and points of views. And the more flexible we become within that, and we don't just cling, and we're not just rigid when it comes to a belief system or a specific pattern of thoughts, that's how we begin to embrace our fluidity, right? That's when we begin to step into that surrender. That's when we begin to go with the flow. We're not resisting it, right? We're not resisting our own multidimensionality, because this is good and this is bad, right? This is evil and this is no. We have light and shadow in this third dimensional realm, right? We have contrast here in order to be able to experience the full range of the human experience, right? The full range of human emotion. We feel fear just that we can feel love. We have fast slept in order to be able to remember and awaken ourselves, right? We had forgotten previously. That's what life on earth talks about. You know, this is us experiencing limits just to remember ourselves as a limitless being. The more that we allow ourselves to go through that change, especially because this new moon is in Sag, right? It's a mutable sign. The mutable signs happen before the shift of season. I don't know if you guys know that, but cardinals are the beginning of a new season, right? So we're talking about spring, we're talking about winter, we're talking about shifts in the seasons. But the mutables is what happens in between that, right? The mutables is what happens when we're going through that shedding process, when we allow ourselves to do that, when we allow ourselves to become more malleable and flexible, just like the nature of this construct. Okay, so yeah, that's something I wanted to mention. Right, let's also take a look at, yeah, we have when you least expect it at the base too, right? What did I talk about earlier? It's like you're finding something when you least expect it. Let's see. Right, we have February. February could be a significant month for you guys. Literally February as well, astrologically. I mean, that's when we step into the year of the fire horse. February is also There's a lot that's going on, okay? We're gonna talk about that another time. There's a lot that's happening in February. That's gonna be a catalyst month, that's what I'll say. That's when a lot of new beginnings are taking place from something that's happening in December for you guys, okay? So whatever is taking place in December 2025 is gonna be impacting you in February 2026. Right. Let's also take a look at some tea leaf messages, and then I'm gonna love and leave you guys right there. Dolphin, financial gains usually coming from something that you did in the past. Okay, so that could be coming to you in February. We have romance is in the air. So again, this could be an opportunity to maybe some of you are generating streams of revenue of something that you love doing, right? Kangaroo, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Some of you also may need to hear this. A lot of a lot of this can originate from, especially if you're thinking about starting something or doing something that you love, if you can find a way to supply a need, right? It's like supply and demand, okay, but I don't want to say demand in this energetic sense, but it's almost like if you can find a way to supply or support those around you doing something that you love to do and something that you feel like is aligned with you and your soul mission, definitely begin to look further into that. That's going to be clarification for someone, because I'm seeing that specifically, because again, this is generating streams of revenue of something that you love, right? Okay, period of frustrations, lessons to be learned. Again, you're going through that funneling process. But why do we go through funneling? Because we are beginning to extract what we do not need, and we're taking that concentrated essence, okay, as we spoke about with I'm also seeing this as like funneling a rose petal, right, to make rose water. And it's almost like you're removing the petals, but you're taking the extract. Hard work ahead. Again, it could be a tedious um kind of cycle that you're moving through. We also have value, deep personal strength, and peace that assures success. With flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Okay, especially when it comes to career. Okay, you have career there at the base. Let's also get the other half. Right, we also have victory in some endeavor. Okay, we have that 5 of change. We also have 4-leaf clover, great or good luck fortune. Again, this is some type of lucky happenings. We also have January could be significant. Maybe you were born in January. If you're a Capricorn or Aquarius. January Aquarius, we have dragon, beware of self-delusion. Okay, so you need to actually align your actions accordingly in the physical in order to have what it is that you see in your mind when it comes to your reality be something that you can hold in your hand, right? We have bread at the base, which is a period of prosperity and great abundance that's coming towards you. Okay, but that takes a level of dedication, right? You've got to knead that dough, if you will. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna love and leave you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing because we'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Altar Spirit if you're looking for some high quality AAA grade jewelry. You also have crystal spheres available there. You have a bunch of different sections. They have definitely expanded. And yeah, two discount codes for that in the description box, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. If you've made it to this point, comment down below something that you feel like represents that new moon in Sagittarius, and if you feel so called to share, let me know which one of you were cleaning. And I would also like to know I would also like to, if not as cool, but I would also like to know, what do you feel like is coming in, and what do you feel like you are releasing during this time? Okay, or what are you releasing? Okay, that's it.